So, Governor, in sticking with this kind of line of questioning and talking about how Republicans here are more looking versus actually having, I want to read for you a quote from a piece that our own Chuck Todd wrote about this, talking about the former impeachments of former President Donald Trump, along with former President Bill Clinton as well. Whatever you think of the three other impeachments, the conduct the presidents were accused of was plain for everyone to see. There was no doubt Clinton had an affair with an intern. There was no doubt Trump tried to coerce Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky into opening a probe against Biden. And Trump's speech on January 6, 2021 alone is evidence of what he hoped his supporters would accomplish by marching on the Capitol. The point is, the conduct alleged in those impeachments was not really in question. The question was whether the conduct was bad enough to merit the political death penalty. If you are a Republican governor in a vulnerable district and you have voted to launch this impeachment inquiry, in which all Republicans did in the House, how worried should you be about your future inside of an election year?
Well, your Republicans are probably thinking about the base. But look, Yasmin, what I'm concerned about is it's like we're a third world country now. It's like we're looking at some place in South America where, you keep putting your political opponents in jail or you charge them with this or that. And it's been going on for a long time. I mean, I think back to the investigation, for example, before you were born, Jasmine, of Casper Weinberger. There was just nothing there, but it bankrupted him. I mean, we have been increasingly weaponizing politics. So I want to ask you a question, Jasmine. Think about this. Would you want to quit your job and go run for public office today? I mean, who in their right mind wants to go through all this stuff? And so I think the quality of people that are now, being elected to these positions is not as good as it once was. And now every time somebody, gets in trouble, somebody else, they're going to go find somebody else to punish. And it just goes on. And it just damages our credibility in the world. It damages our ability to get things done. And so there have been many investigations, Democrats investigating Republicans, Republicans investigating Democrats. And now this one, I mean, it's like we're going fishing. So we haven't caught any fish yet, but if we can go out in the ocean long enough and keep throwing our line, maybe we'll find something. It's just very disappointing, but it's kind of where we are in the political side of America today.
First of all, Governor, I'm not going to answer your question, but I will tell you,
you're not running yet.
Politics is not in my future, my friend. It is not in my future. I'll tell you that much. But how do you stop the cycle then? Hearing your frustration here, right, which I think a lot of Americans are frustrated about now, but how do you stop the cycle?
It's leaders, Jasmine. Look, the quality of leaders in our country today, and not just in politics, but across the board, is not where it once was or where we want it to be. And look, let me tell you another thing that I think we forget. One of the primary problems, and don't think I'm preaching a sermon, maybe I am. When we cease to look at another person and realize that we forget that they are all made in the image of God and they deserve respect, when we lose that, that's when things begin to fall apart. We start to treat people with hatred. We start to treat them like widgets. And that's where we are today. We look at our polarized country, and when you hear somebody tell you, well, I love Trump or I love Biden or whatever, think about the reaction from those on the other side. It's like we are not treating people with the respect that they need and want. And that's why I think we're in this spiral and cycle. And what I think it's going to take is some sort of awakening where people like you and hopefully myself and many others that we know stand up and say, knock off this nonsense. When I was running the budget committee in Washington, I told Republicans that we were going to treat the Democrats with respect. We still got what we wanted, but I was liked by both sides. The same thing as governor. Show respect. You don't have to agree, but stop trying to, destroy somebody's life and their career.